have you ever wondered, what is the first insect that you think of when people talk about insects? Well, most people think of the monarch butterflies, one of the most beautiful and iconic insects of the UK. However, they are currently facing a steady decline in the past decade. Hello, my name is Danny, and today I will talk about the decline in monarch butterflies and what we can do to save them. So first, if we look at this graph, we can see that the amount of space occupied by monarch butterflies has decreased greatly in the year 2020. Well, the numbers of butterflies migrated this year has decreased by 59%. This is the second least amount of butterflies migrated recorded in history. Also, the amount of monarch butterflies has decreased by 95% over the past decade, which means that they drop from about 1.2 million to about 200,000 butterflies right now. So what are the reasons that cause this? There are a lot of reasons, but let's look at climate change. The increase in natural disasters like storms have been proved devastating to these butterflies because they decrease the resting places for butterflies, and also butterflies are extremely dependent on environmental cues to trigger certain things like reproduction and migration, and climate change may trigger them too late or too early. Then we have habitat loss. Fewer butterflies can lay eggs and find a food source because their habitat is lost, and it increases competition. Then we have diseases. The Ophiocystis electrocerta disease, or the OE disease, has experienced a massive increase from 1% in 1968 to about 10% right now. Inadequate sanitizing can cause the disease to spread, and also because of habitat loss, butterflies now lay eggs closer to each other, which causes the disease to spread. Also, for every 5 monarch butterflies, at least 2 or 3 butterflies are infected, which means that 20% of butterflies are heavily contaminated, while 60% are carrying some type of spores. Then we have invasive species. First is the Japanese beetles. These beetles feed on the plants' flowers and also the seed sets, which disrupts the next generation of plants. And black swallowwort, Cynancium luicea, and pale swallowwort, Cynancium russicum. Female butterflies can confuse them for native milkweeds, making their caterpillars die since this is not a common food source for them. And also, these swallowwort also kill out native milkweeds to make space for their own kind. Then we have the loss of milkweed breeding habitat. The widespread use of herbicide-resistant crops like broccoli and corn has destroyed many fields of milkweed habitat. Because of that, some people have tried replanting milkweeds, but not all milkweeds can be beneficial. For example, the tropical milkweeds Asclepicas curasavica is a very popular option since they can grow in a warmer climate. However, these milkweeds grow all year round. Because of that, it forces the butterflies to reproduce instead of migrate to the north where they're supposed to be. Then we have pesticides. Pesticides can kill out both milkweeds and monarch butterflies if they are close enough. And one group of insecticides that is raising concern is neonicotinoids, which is often sprayed around homes, city landscapes, and schools. Then we have the monarch's defense mechanism. This defense mechanism is supposed to protect the larvae from any potential predator, so it often loses the toxin after the butterfly has reached weeks of age. However, human activity has decreased the toxin in this defense mechanism, and researchers have found out that butterflies are losing this defense mechanism way earlier than they should be. Next is light pollution. City lights can make the butterflies deviate from its migration path, and also it can affect the growth of milkweeds. So what can we do to save these butterflies? There are a lot of solutions to these problems. First, for climate change, you can destroy invasive milkweeds and also plant native ones. And also, you can reintroduce plants and flowers in urban areas and plant nectar plants and milkweeds in your garden to introduce wild monarchs. For pesticides, farmers can adopt a more pollinator-friendly farm, and also we can put a stricter regulations to using pesticides. You can also raise your own monarchs and release them in the wild. Protect the larvae by sanitizing the food stores, and also introduce wild monarchs to your garden so they can reproduce safely. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.